The news just keeps coming. It just came out that Patrick Williams is going to miss tomorrow's game, the first game back from the All-Star break with a quad injury. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Haize, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome back to another breaking news episode on Chicago Bulls Central. This time, we got an update in Patrick Williams. This just came down from KC Johnson that Patrick Williams is expected to miss. Well, he is going to miss tomorrow's game against the New York Knicks with a right quad injury and tendon soreness. Now, for what it's worth, Patrick Williams did bang knees in the last game of the break before, that came from Billy Donovan. Also, it looks like Patrick Williams was a full participant in practice Tuesday and Wednesday, which is kind of surprising that with the extended break, being a full participant in practice Tuesday and Wednesday, you then come back and now you're out in the game, which probably means that he's experiencing some severe soreness after practicing 2 days in a row. So we'll see what that means for the long-term future here. But, it is what it is when it comes down to it, man. Patrick Williams, he's had an up and down season. He's had an up and down career with the Chicago Bulls in a lot of ways as well. So, Patrick Williams missing time, it just opens up more opportunity for other players. And that's just what it comes down to. We still need to take looks and continue looks at like Julian Phillips, Dalen Terry. This could open up some minutes for those guys. Modest Bucilis is already the starter at the 4 position for the Chicago Bulls, so nothing really changes when it comes to that at all either. This is just continues to be just after Patrick Williams signing an extension in which the Bulls hoped that it meant that Patrick Williams is going to finally make that step up, right? DeMar DeRozan was gone, and the Bulls hoping that for Patrick Williams. And so far this season has just been a large disappointment for Patrick Williams. It just has been. And even in him moving to the bench, he's had basically the same production coming off the bench as he has as a starter. So, with the Patrick Williams situation is just one that we know the outcome to. Right, I think everybody understands the outcome. The Bulls front office just needs to come to the realization of the outcome. Patrick Williams is more than likely not going to be a player that all of a sudden changes his tune and becomes anything more than what he is. And I know that's a lot to say for a player that's not even 24 years old yet, but Patrick Williams is an extremely, he just is who he is. Regardless of the youth, regardless of the potential that was there when they drafted Patrick Williams, P. Will is who P. Will is. And that doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. He's a solid defender that can hit some open shots and some threes for you. And is going to every once in a while have a game you look at and you say, hey, why don't we see this more from P. Will? But overall, P. Will is who P. Will is. And it's good that we now see the future of P. Will, right? I'm sorry, the future at the power forward position. And it's not Patrick Williams. It's Modest Bucilis. That's the player who is the future. At the forward spot for the Chicago Bulls. It's Modest Bucilis. That's it. That's who the next guy is. It's not Patrick Williams. It's probably not Julian Phillips, right? It's Bucilis. That's it. And P. Will could still have a productive NBA career, but it's not going to be what people once hoped that P. Will is. Now, listen, if P. Will wakes up at some point in time, we've seen late bloomers in the NBA before, and he ends up showing some things, great. Cool. It is what it is. But as of right now, Patrick Williams is he's an overpaid role player. That's who P. Will is. He is a role player. And not to say that role players don't matter in the NBA, because they do. But when you draft a role player at number 4, you need to come to the realization that's who P. Will is going to be. He's going to be that role player. That's not going to change for him anytime soon. So, it is what it is when it comes down to that. I'm not surprised by it. It sucks that he's injured. Like, I don't wish injury on anybody. So I'm not one of those guys like, oh, who cares? He sucks. I'm glad he's injured. No, I never say that, right? But I think at the end of the day, P. Will is this is who he is, who he's shown to be so far he is who we thought he is, right? That's it. It just is what it is. And that's perfectly fine, man. Perfectly fine. And listen, here's what I'll say as well to you guys. The people who like to crap on P. Will, I guarantee you, and this is I have no doubt about this, that whether it's on the Bulls or not, right, that eventually P. Will is going to go to the team with a star. And I think that P. Will is going to be a role player that people look at and say, hey, we like having him on the team. Now, that could be the Bulls. If Manas Musalis turns into the star, whoever you draft this year ends up turning into a star, right? But, for the hope and hype around P. Will, it's just not going to be there. He's going to be a solid role player. And that's just who it is, man. But all right, y'all. I just wanted to bring this update as this one came down, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, 773-270-2799, or the number one spot for everything Bulls related. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.